This fossil's my favourite. It's called an Ammonite and it's 170 million years old.
At the end of an Ammonite's life, it would sink to the seabed. As new layers of rock formed, the Ammonites were buried. This means that if you go down and down into the rock, you reach Ammonites that were further and further back in time. Geologist Denise Barmer finds Ammonites fascinating.
I'm sure all of you have heard about and know about this creature who lived in the sea a long, long time ago. This is called an Ammonite. But Ammonites weren't always that shape. They changed over time. And originally, they started off this kind of shape. And they would run along the bottom of the ocean floor, actually feeding the shell. The creature lived in the shell here. But it wasn't that size. Its shell was about 10 feet tall, 3 meters high. Now, if you lived in a shell that was 3 meters high, it wouldn't be a very nice thing to live in because people are going to be swimming into you at the top. So with your plasticine, I want you to show the first thing that would happen to the shell. How would it change over time, do you think?
It's bent sort of backwards.
Right. Okay, so initially we've got this one, and let's have a look at yours. It's going to start bending, right? So this is the first change, okay? Now, that one will sit on top of that one. Well, a little bit further, let's go a little bit further on. Good. Here we have another one, look. It's moving, it's curling up just a little bit more. And what's the next one going to be like?
Yeah.
Yes, start rolling up even more. So here we are, we're getting our changes in our ammonites. Then we go into this one, brilliant. And then look at this one. This is really now curled up beautifully and is much more like this ammonite. However, at that point, they started to change back. So can we have some that are unwinding? So we've got them unwinding again, but they're a different shape from here because they're more wound up in the middle. Another one that's unwinding, please. And there we are, until perhaps we finished up with a straight one, but by that time they'd all died out. So what is this telling us?
That some animals change to suit their environment and the creatures around them.
That's right, and they change over time. So if we find a rock with this fossil in, we know that it's going to be older than the one which has started to curl up. And then we know that that really curly one is older than the ones which are uncurling again, but are different from the ones here. So we can actually use these particular fossils to tell us the order of how the rocks formed.
There are rocks all over the world, and often the layers are clear to see. If scientists find a new fossil, they can work out when the creature was on Earth if there happen to be some ammonite fossils nearby. Here is a trilobite fossil. Trilobites first appeared 500 million years ago, say scientists. Both they and the ammonites were wiped out 250 million years ago in a mass extinction.